Hey everybody, this is going to be my first run of voiceover analysis, doing Salotto matches. This is going to be a race to 9, even race to 9 against Bryan Nehls, one of my good buddies that takes lessons once in a while, and we're trying this first run of doing Salotto matches, and then I'm going to record it and then do voiceover, which is what's happening at this moment. I forgot to start the video early enough, so this is actually the first game. He scratched on the break, and now I have ball in hand. And we're kind of talking, but that'll all cease, and then we're going to just try to play a serious game, because this is all going into the Fargo and all that stuff, so I have an incentive to play well. He has an incentive to play well. There's no money on the line, although he is paying me for the video editing and the commentary. So I'm taking ball in hand. I play the 2. I was actually trying to get a little bit of an angle here so I could go into the side or the end rail. But I haven't hit any balls today, so I'm a little bit dry. I'm just trying to mainly I just get a feel for the table at the beginning of a set if I haven't hit balls. Test the speed and all that, because everything is a little bit different in the morning, or, every table is a little bit different. So here I'm just going to try to draw back, give myself an angle on the 5, or even just a stop shot like that. Yeah, that's right, because I want to keep the angle so I can just punch over to the side rail for the 6 without having to move my cue ball too much. If I drew back, then I'd have to maybe go to the other side of the 6 instead of staying on the same side, which is fine, but I think this is a little bit easier shot. It came up a little bit higher than I wanted to. Now, because I wanted to go into the end rail and then back straight at the 7, but I think now I'm playing it with low and left and trying to spin it. Yeah, and then I ended up overspinning it, so I missed. And here I would probably just roll with left English to try to come straight at the 7. And this, it looks like you have a little bit of an angle, so really the shot would be what you shot. I think is just to kind of roll it forward or punch over with center ball. Yeah, and it looks like you just made sure to get your cue ball control, so that's what made you overcut it. So in this, I'm just putting a good stroke on. I was trying to draw back to shoot it into the corner where I'm standing right now, but I think I hit it a little bit short. Didn't come up enough. Yeah, so I ended up good on that side. Like I said at the beginning, I try to you give yourself grace if you can, because you haven't hit too many balls, so what's your real expectation? You're just going to go out playing your best pool? Not normally. Alright, so I got that one. It's going to be 1-0. The score is at the very top on the little scoreboard. So when I break 9-ball, I just generally break from the wing, meaning the sides. especially with the magic rack, it's pretty likely that you're going to make like one of the wing balls. You can either like cut it to the side rail and go back to the middle, which I like to do. That makes the one ball go a little bit further and not get stuck in the middle of the table. You could also like play with a little bit of spin to enhance that or slow the one ball down because you get a little bit of throw. I typically just kind of try to hit it full ball and just try to let the cue ball like go back to the middle of the table, like by just bouncing off of it and stopping. Let's see, we got some music I'm putting on. That's right. Yeah, because on this table, it's just like a center punch break. You can make 2 to 3 balls, so you don't really have to do much. Yeah, I mean, that's all you really want. You got a little bit of an angle here, more than I kind of want, and you're like going away from the 2 ball. It took me a little bit of time to figure out exactly how I wanted to do it. I ended up, was thinking maybe I can draw and then go down to the end rail and then straight back up, like maybe a little bit of right, or 2 rails kind of and just like punching it, and I think that's what I ended up doing. It took me a second to like really get a feel for it. Yeah, that was pretty good. So here I got just a little bit of an angle to where it's cutting and the cue ball's going to go to the 3, but so I don't want to draw it because I can get too steep because I kind of want to be below. So I ended up just like slow rolling it and hit it pretty good. So here, I should have made a better decision. I ended up missing the ball just by slow rolling it, and I think I should have just punched it and then hit above the side pocket instead of trying to play it below the side like I did. So really, this is a good opportunity for Bryan here. I think I'd like to just slow roll it and then just let the cue ball go back right to where it's at now and just play like through the middle of the table for the whole out, basically. Got a little bit steep. Yeah, now here it's kind of the same thing. It's like if you can hit it soft enough to make it and still play for the 5, you can, but the 8 may be in danger. See how it's like a little bit tricky here. I can't really say what you do just because the angle's not great. Yeah, it went right into the 9. Yeah, now you just got to shoot this long shot. Oh, yeah, excuse me, it bumped into the 8. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. Well, you just scramble from here, you know. Probably just make the 5 and then roll forward a little bit so you have a shot on the 8. Yeah, and I don't really have a great shot. I could try to bank it, but it's really close. So I just elect to play safe because this is part of, I think, you got to learn how to like play a little bit of defense and learn how to move. I think most people just play so offensively all the time that you don't learn as many of the moves that you'll need as you want to try to get better, because you can't just always shoot at the ball and think you're going to just win. Because this game's a lot about control too, so anything you do to control your opponent is good. And that means running out and staying at the table, or also like just making their opportunities tougher. He almost hit that perfect, just a little bit, wider. Or sometimes he may have used too much spin, and that causes it to go short a little bit more. So just like back off the spin slightly could help. Yeah, and this is just, could have played that 2 rails with like top right, but that 1 railer, as long as you like play the angle and make sure you like pick your spot to hit on the side rail, it's pretty easy. And I just punched across, and now same thing here. I like to just punch every shot if I can, just so you can use a nice center cue ball. And now it's 2-0. Breaks the balls, see from the middle, and did not make a ball, which is kind of like, this is my pool table, so I know that it's not very easy to make balls on the break from the middle. I'm playing 9-ball on this table. They don't just sit nice. You have to you almost have to make sure you draw the cue ball a little bit, or the cue ball has to bounce hard off the rack. If it goes forward, normally you don't make balls. So here I'm just trying to make the ball, and then ideally, really, it looks like it's just going to bounce right into the 5, and that's fine because that'll trap it. I think I end up missing. Yeah, here, so you just cut to the left, and I think normally it looks to me like you can go 4 rails, like end rail, side rail, end rail, side rail, and then kind of like hit the 4th rail where the chalk is. And that allows you to just like make the ball, not have to worry so much about holding it. Yeah, here I'm just trying to cut the 1 in the corner and go forward between the 8 and the 9. And I think because I was concentrating so hard on that, I just missed the ball. Like I said, I'm not really warmed up yet, so just kind of like trying to figure it out right now. I feel like that's clung just a little bit. So here, I think he has enough angle to like just kind of like punch it with maybe right English. You gotta hit it pretty good. Yeah, here, so I'm gonna try to make this 7 and then hope that I end up with the shot. So I'm playing this with draw and left, and I'm just making sure that I hit the side or the end rail with the cue ball, and then hoping that the left spin really gets me, and then just hoping that the 1 comes out. But it kind of did not. So I'm thinking about playing safe in a couple different ways, and then I like to just play the one towards the middle of the table and then cue all over to the side rail. And then even if I was to like sell out something, it's still tough to get the one and the two, like to play shape for the two on the one. So a lot of safeties I'll play where even if I do give you a window, it's difficult for you to play shape for the next ball, and that just limits your opportunity. And then I'm sort of relying on my ability to move and play defenses to like survive through whatever. Because if you had a shot to make it, looks like it just he would end up with this situation on the two, and that's not that offensive. Yeah, I was trying to do this, like play the cue ball under the three. Bryan plays a nice safe here. Yeah, so I'm just playing this shot as a safety, trying to hit the bottom of the one to make sure that I don't foul. Plus, also, if you hit the bottom here and you miss it, you could potentially kick back into that second rail. Yeah, and I didn't really play the speed at all there, other than just making sure that I had a good line on it. I'm not sure if the one goes past the nine, that's why he called the nine, or if it's what he was trying to do, and he was just like, well, if I hit it bad, it's all a good idea. If you make the one here, then you have a shot on the two, so it's worth shooting. Here, I'm just trying to draw out of the scratch, so I prioritized the draw, but I think I ended up just overcutting it, in which case I would have gotten like a ton of draw, because I still did draw out of the scratch. Yeah, this 9 foot table play, some of it's just like kind of keep away, but some of the shots are pretty tough, so it's almost like you don't even necessarily expect most people to make them and get on the next ball enough to even get out, so some of it's just like being patient. So he finally like sold out a pretty good opportunity for me here. Yeah, so I'm playing 1, 2, 3 are all down there, and then the 4's a little tricky. I wanted to play. Yeah, so it's just rolling ball. This one is just going to be like center ball with a touch of right English, I think, and soft. Now here, I just don't want to end up straight in. I was like thinking, okay, if I play the like under the 4, then I can go into the 8 pretty hard and use like spin to turn it to the middle of the table, which is why I played it low. But I got a little bit too high. can still cut it. Just now getting the velocity to the side is not as good. And I babied it a little bit. Like I could have hit that quite a bit harder. I just needed to get like another foot higher, because then I could have played a different shot here. I think I ended up getting away with it though. I should have played it super thin and then try to get the cue ball to go above the 6, but I played it like below the 6, and I think it ends up... Or did I draw the ball? I should have spent more time on this, making a decision. Yeah, I was trying to draw and then not hit it and then go to the end rail and then back. Yeah, and that, again, a little bit of indecision, but this is how it goes. Once you realize you're not using your best process, then it's all good. You just go back to the best process, and eventually I'll figure it out. Oh, I got a phone call, that's right. So here I'm just going to cut the 8 to the corner and then play draw and a little bit of right English, and I'm just trying to float it, hit it as soft as I can basically to get the action. Barely, but I did it. Yeah, basically on the bridge I just aim like a dart shot. Like if you play darts, it's kind of a similar stroke. Not really like a full swing. You just kind of like use your wrist action to get a little bit of velocity. It takes a while to get a feel for like where the cue is going to touch the cue ball and how far away you are. So it's 3-0. Just going to cut the one to the right and go 2 rails back for the 2 ball. Maybe I should have played it 3 rails and then back to the middle. I felt like I had to baby it a little bit too much, and I ended up hitting it too full, I think. No, I overcut it. I think Bryan can make it. Yeah, I like that. If you can get a little bit more like English on it, could have came up. A little thin now though. Here, if you make it, you can play like short side on the 3 all the way back to the same corner that the 2 is going into, if you, depending on the angle. Or no, excuse me, shooting the 4 next. I thought that was the 3. That's the 7. Apologies. Yeah, hit that nice, just too hard. Barely didn't hit it. Here I'm trying to draw above the 6, but I think so that I can shoot the 6 and go down to the end rail and back up towards the 7. Yeah, and I'm pretty short, so I drew that back. I think a taller person might just punch across. Came up a little bit too far, but not really, not too bad. Now I just have to coast it. Top left. Hit a little bit full, so I came down more than I really needed to. I was planning to play it to the right so I can cut it to the 9 into the left corner, but now I decide I'm going to play top inside. Play it into the right corner. Alright, it's 4-0. Yeah, I just gotta hit it more full. At some point, I realize I'm not using, like, thinking about where I want my cue ball to go early enough, and it's causing me a little bit of struggle with my shape. So I'm going to play this in the corner and try to go 2 rails kind of and hit the 9, I think is really what I wanted to do, just to make sure I didn't get behind it. I just hit it too full. That causes the cue ball to come down too far. If I had made it, it would have been a better shot. I think he can use right English here. Maybe have to masse it a little bit. Or if you have a jump cue, this is a time to jump it. So I'm trying to get a really nice angle here. So I play with high left English. But everything is kind of in the way here. I was trying to go end rail, side rail, and then back over, and I think I hit it. I spun it and missed it. I'm not sure what I do here. Yeah. Came up too far. I was pretty sure I was trying to play short side. And I'm just going to bank it with follow and try to play short side for the 7 in the corner. I ended up with like, now I can't bank it and I can't cut it. I guess I could have played just the 6 and played to bank the 7 again. Maybe that would have been the right shot. So I'm going to bank it in the corner. And I'm going to play the cue ball down to the end rail for the 8. And then if you miss, then you end up with this kind of thing. If you hit it short like I did, then it goes 2 rails. And as long as you're playing your speed proper. So I think you're just supposed to bank it and then play 2 rails for the 8. You can play safe, but I think there's enough reason to go for it here. You end up cutting it to the left. I would have thought maybe cutting it, banking it to the right. Now I'm just going to try to make it and go 2 rails back to the middle with the cue ball, but I missed the ball. Still haven't quite woken up yet. So now you just make the ball 1 rail back to the middle of the table enough to get a good cut angle on the 8. That's all you got to do. So now I'm going to play right English and high and try to come above the 8. And I just barely nudge it, which makes it a little bit weird. So I think I just play follow to bump the 9 towards the corner, and then the cue ball is going to go to the end rail. So I got away with it. That was basically what I thought was going to happen. All right. It's 5-0 now. Bryan's had a few opportunities so far, but not capitalized. He's still pretty uncomfortable. So I'm pretty sure I can make the 3, but I kind of feel like I have to spin it in. Which in this case, I got to use a little bit of right English. And what you're going to get is a little bit of swerve. So the 9's less out of play because you're starting out. The cue ball's going to the left. And then it's swerving to the right. Yeah, and I got good on this ball. And I'm drawing back to play the 6 inside, and I just babied it. And ended up not being able to make it. Well, I mean, I cut it to the left, but I ended up hitting it poorly. Cue ball went off the point, so I got I don't know how lucky it got. Who knows where it would have went. I guess I was playing it back and forth, so yeah, this is better for me. It's a good hit, but you don't always get lucky, unfortunately. The speed of the shots are key, and in that situation, it's tough to get safe just because you're kicking into open space. Yeah, I was trying to get straight in, didn't get there. So I'm going to play just between the 8 and the 9, I think. So I'd use draw and left. So I was just right English. Six to 0. Moved over a little bit. Dry break once again. Yeah, on that shot I was actually playing for this side of the ball, just so I could make sure to get the angle. I felt like if I hit it soft to try to hold it, I might not get as much action as I needed. I was playing for just exactly to the end rail so that I could play off the side of the 3, but then I had to manufacture by using like punch and left here. I was playing for the side. Came up short. Can still make it. Yeah, I don't think I can make either pocket here. That's why I ended up playing safe. And I just played thin off the side of it, trying to play it behind the 9 and the cue ball down there. Foul. He hit the 9 just a little bit. Not sure what he was trying to do exactly. Maybe he had a bank. I came up short here. I wanted to be almost straight in so I could just draw back. Now I gotta play it to the other side, which is fine. It's not much different really. It's just not what I was planning to do. So I like to play it with high. And I came up short. I want to be straighter. This is really, you don't want to be like in this angle on the 9 because you have to avoid both the side in the corner, and then the other side pocket on the way back if you play it 2 rails. So you kind of have to make sure you play your speed like proper on this shot. But I ended up getting away with it. Okay, now it's 7-0. The 7-9 is like straight, perfectly straight in, so all I really needed to do here is make this ball. And I should probably break and run, but I think I end up missing again. I like the shot, just came a little bit too hard. I think he ended up with a good shot here though. Yeah, he missed that shot on the side, kind of similar to that earlier. And I gamble here. I don't know that I'm supposed to necessarily bank this ball, but if I make it, then I'm going to win the game, so I do it. I go for it. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I felt like I was going to get shaped no matter what, so it's worth shooting it. But I don't make it. So yeah, here I think you just play like high ball and a little bit of left English, and then just kind of try to get the cue ball to go back and forth, but not go down towards the end rail. The left will make it kind of check and stay like where it'll just keep going back and forth. Because you end up like going down table just a little bit, and that makes it tough. Made a good shot. Oh, it just went right between them. That was unfortunate. He hit those 2 balls solid. I feel like this is where he started playing a little bit more comfortably. I don't know if you put a little bit of right English. All right, so it's 8-0, I think. Good shot. Another good shot, just came up short, or it came up too far. Slightly below center ball hit would have been a better shot on that, or below where you hit, just to be less follow. And that shot, just missed it. It wasn't easy. Yeah, I'm looking at cutting it to the left so I can go 2 rails, just like naturally with the cue ball for the 5. Missed, but it was good shape. Yeah, I just kind of jabbed at that. Got to be a little bit smoother with that stroke. I would have maybe just let it go forward and then bump the 5 or go underneath the 5 and just not try to draw out of it. I don't know exactly what your thought process is on that shot. Yeah, and I got straight in, which I didn't want. Now I'm just playing 1 rail and forward a little bit to get under the 8. But I did not hit it very well. Yeah, and I like the decision making here. I know you were looking originally at going to the end rail under the 7, but then it's on the wrong side of the ball for that. It's easier to kick it the way you did. Yeah, it seemed like there's a little bit of left English there. Yeah, just running these balls out here.